haven't even started this yet, and I'm already just thinking what a bad idea it is.
So today is the very last day of my 20s. And while age is just a number and tomorrow is my 30th birthday, I know I'm not gonna feel really any different. It can be worthwhile to stop and to think and to reflect, to treat them like an opportunity. So I came up with this idea this morning that I wanted to do something to commemorate all of my 20s, my last day in my 20s. And I think that it's probably appropriate for me to do something a little bit stupid and reckless in the spirit of those years as a 20-year-old. So I am going to try to run 20K for my 20s, which is the farthest that I have ever run in my life. And you're welcome to come along on the journey as I just reflect on the last decade of my life. And yeah, maybe have a little bit of thinking of what might come next. So, I don't know, I'll see you at random points along the road as I have some reflections. Okay, a beautiful place for a beautiful, maybe a little bit sappy reflection. If you went back 10 years, you'd probably find me on the 7th floor of the library at Brock University, hanging out with a group of rascals who were probably pretending to do work, but not doing very much work. That community, those people, especially some of those closest friendships I developed, people like Chris and Jake and Ethan, you guys showed me about a kind of friendship that I had not known outside of like summer camp friends that went away at the end of the summer. And when I think back on that time, with all of its ups and downs and cringe and challenge, I can't help but be unbelievably grateful for the friendships that I formed, for the people that I had, for that community. What an unbelievable blessing it was to be a part of that. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. I mean, we can't talk about this time of my life without at least spending a little bit of time talking about parkour. It was in this time that I got connected in real life with some parkour athletes, get to go and train with them, and actually got to go down to Washington, D.C., get my parkour coaching certification, which became a huge part of my life when I got involved with Play Project and helping to start that, and all of the fun things and the relationships, people like Trevor and Ethan, even getting to travel across the world to Portugal as a part of that. So that was really neat. Definitely something worth remembering. Okay, we're about a quarter of the way through. I got something cool to show you guys. So that was Greenan Castle. It's this ruin alone on the edge of a cliff. And to be honest, it kind of reminds me, quarter of the way through the run, of where I was at a quarter of the way through this decade. Despite having one of the best communities I'd ever had in my entire life, I felt alone. And I got into these relationships that I got hurt in, relationships where I hurt others. And I was just like Greenan. I was like crumbling by myself on the edge of a cliff. It's not the fault of the wonderful community that I had. I didn't know how to ask for help. I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that time was all bad things, because there were some truly wonderful, exciting things that happened at that time. Some life-giving things. I went on my very first backcountry camping trip. I found my passion for rock climbing, got hugely involved at Peaks Indoor Rock Climbing, rest in peace. But my video business was booming. It was doing better than it ever had before. And that was so exciting to have a creative outlet like that. I also got involved in the CRC ministry on campus, got connected with Andre, who became a mentor. And that was such a beautiful, wonderful experience for which I am so grateful. And even in that time, I had this amazing encounter with God where I felt like I got called into ministry. And while the middle of that 5-year period was really marked by like uncertainty and loneliness and confusion, I think as I got to the end of it, there was this sense of purpose. Something had been built there that was beautiful and wonderful, and for which, again, as I look back, I am very grateful. Okay, I'm pretty lost. I'm gonna check my maps and see how far it is to the castle. Down we go. Oh gosh, this is gonna suck to come back up. This is such a cute little village. I would love to come back here when I'm not dying of exhaustion, when I've got like access to a car. Look at this. I found myself now 14.5 kilometers into my run at my turnaround point, which means this is maybe more likely to become a 30K for my 30th birthday than a 20K to celebrate my 20s. This is worth it though. This is so cool. My whole body hurts and I still have to run all the way home, but this is really neat. So I'm gonna show you. I'll run around and do some B-roll. So for better or for worse, this is my halfway point. And I wanted to save a really special story for the halfway point of my run. Right at the halfway point in this last decade, I had one of my favorite memories. Towards the end, I've got some more favorite memories with getting married and traveling to Scotland. But yeah, right in that halfway point, my dad and I went on a bicycle trip. We rode from Washington, D.C. to Pittsburgh together over the course of a week. And it is some of my fondest memories of time spent with my dad, and I'm so grateful for it. What a wonderful trip we had. So I thought this was a great spot for me to stop, a big momentous place, to think about a big momentous moment that's really, really special to me. Cool. Let's start heading home. What happened actually right after that really wonderful trip with my dad is I moved in with my best friends to a place in Hamilton, and I started seminary, which again was kind of the tail end of that really high peak, right in the middle of the last decade. Cool. All right, I really got to get moving if I want to get home at any kind of a decent hour. Let me restart my run because I paused it. Cool, let's go. Oh, I got to come back here. This is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I ran all the way down this beautiful hill coming into this little town, but all that I could think about is how much running up this hill was going to suck, and I was right. It does suck, but it really is quite pretty. All right, don't tell anyone, but I'm walking this hill. I can't handle it. 15K in is already almost one of the longest runs I've ever done. And I got a long way yet to get home. So just gonna take a break, walk for a little bit. It's okay. Slow down sometimes. And in learning to admit my weaknesses, maybe even to embrace my weaknesses. So here we are. Keep on walking. Hello, sheep. I just finished a really long and I think really beautiful reflection. And I realized my phone died in the middle of it. I have no idea how much of it survived. I'm hurting. 18.6 kilometers in, still much longer than 1.5 kilometers until home. Those first years of seminary provided for me the opportunity to enter into vocational ministry, which, maybe this is a theme, some of the highest highs was simultaneously the lowest lows. I had these great triumphs, this beautiful success, and I had like some real experience of death spiritually. I was really lost. I was, in the midst of that, I talked about the deconstruction, the reconstruction that happened in my faith. In the midst of that deconstruction I made choices I regret. I hurt people. Just being a pastor is lonely. I'm hurting, guys. My body is like dying. 1 kilometer until we hit 20K though, so that's a thing.
What's up, guys? 30-year-old Jeff here, editing this video right first thing in the morning. And if there's one thing that I've come to realize, it's that the footage that got lost just needs to stay lost. And this next clip is the perfect example of that. I'm going to only show you a kind of tiny little bit of it. This is like, you ever watch a movie and someone is like recording their last words to their loved ones and they realize that they're like going to die? That's what this feels like. So I'm just going to put, it got like real personal. I feel like I forgot that I was going to post this on the internet. So I'm just going to show you like a little bit of it, and then so you can see that, and then like a couple of clips of me waving at animals happily to like bring the tone back up, and we'll find our way somehow to a finish line. But I hope this has been fun. I feel like it's probably more for me than it is for you guys anyways. Yeah, all right, here. I hope you feel prepared now.
5 years ago in May, I met Raven, my wife. But there is no one in the world that I would rather be doing this with. I love you so much. Thank you for being mine. Hello, horse. Hello, sheep. There's lots of you. All right, we're almost there. Gotta be very close, within 100 meters. Oh, please. Please, please, please. Oh, goodness. Woo! Let's go! Oh, my goodness. Can't believe it. I feel like this brings me to now. Finished seminary. And, well, I haven't graduated, but I finished my courses. And, in July, Raven and I entered into like what was probably one of the most difficult things that we've entered into in our marriage. And in the midst of that, we also turned our whole world upside down and moved to Scotland. And it has been one of the most amazing, rewarding adventures that I could have wished for. So much better than what I could have wished for. I feel like I am the healthiest that I've ever been. And I think if I want to like sum up this time, at the top of my journal, I have this quote from Henry Nouwen. It says, "Everything that I say comes from me." And I feel like that's the goal that I'm working towards now. For my 30s, for the next decade that we're entering into, is speak in a way that is informed by who I am, without fear of what that might net me or get me. Just in authenticity. So that's maybe a bit of a somber note to end this on, but that's been one of the big takeaways. Hopefully the 30s are just maybe not quite as eventful, but I believe that I will have just as many opportunities for gratitude, if not many, many more, as we head into this next decade. Bye. Hey, man. Yeah, no, how's it going? I gotta ask you, do you know where the farm park is? Yeah, so I was out on a run, making a video. I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. And I'm like another 10K from home, and my legs are fried. Is there any way you can pick me up?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm right at the bus stop, right by. I don't have my wallet though, so I can't even get a bus ride home. Right at the bus stop, right by the farm park there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll see you in like 5 minutes. Thank you so much. All right, bye. I guess that there's one more little mini lesson to have. I've just called and asked for a ride home. So I have also learned in this time how to ask for help. And I'm proud of myself for that. So shout out to Stuart, who was my friend from the coffee series who had a car, for coming to pick me up. I really do appreciate it, man. This video has gone back to 20K for my 20s. And they were a good 20K. Glad to end it off with a friend.
Hi, Stuart! My savior has arrived. Oh, there it goes. Hiya.
Okay, 30-year-old Jeff here for the last time. Stuart came and picked me up, drove me home. He brought me like a banana and a cereal bar and a water. And I feel like what I called a little mini lesson at the end of this video is actually such a big lesson. One of the big things that I really have learned, I mentioned at the end of the video feeling like I'm in the healthiest place that I've been in my life. And I think it's because of these people that I have in my life who I can call. People like Faith and Jordan and Grant and Justin and Phil and Larry, my family, my parents, Raven's family, who is now my family, pastors and mentors like Ian and Andrew and Vern, and couples, friends like Eddie and Elizabeth, and those friends who have been with me since the beginning of this decade, Chris and Ethan, like Jesse, and of course my amazing wife Raven, and so many other people who see me and know me and love me. And I am very, very blessed. And I know that this video probably feels like the Return of the King, where like you think it's ended 5 times by the time you actually get to the ending. But Return of the King also won Best Picture. So, I deal with it, I guess. This is really the end. Thank you so much for watching.